Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This week I spent $64.38 on groceries. I had some really great meals. I ended up getting some flash food boxes, a special surprise item, and we also ate down some of our existing food. Some older freezer not items, item, and some perishable items, some vegetables that needed to get eaten because they were getting not great for fresh eating, but fine for a cooked meal. So I was able to get rid of some of those items. I do have a small grocery list in mind for next week. Check out the meals that I had. Let me know what you thought. Bacon, sausages, and cranberry juice. Opening up the Greek potatoes, there is a package inside. There's seasoning already on the potatoes, but I think the intent is that I'm supposed to open this, spread that over, and we'll put the whole thing on the barbecue. I'm excited about this. It's fun to try new things, and it's especially fun to try new things when they're marked down to a more moderate price. We are having 2 of the Gouda stuffed burgers, compliments burgers, from a buy I did I don't know, maybe a month ago actually, from Sobeys, and we're gonna have them with the little potatoes. These turned out awesome, and that sauce was like a lemon sauce. Like we each have sampled this. We did a little taste test, and they're really good. So we'll put everything together and get it plated. I just want to add that there were many, many opportunities for us to eat out on the way home. And we made this plan. We're going to have burgers. We're going to do this. And we did not eat out. We are saving our money and eating at home, even though many opportunities presented themselves. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, I'm proud. The handsome one has made us some smoothies for lunch today. This is banana with Hascap jam. He threw in some blueberries as well. There's spinach in there, milk, and yogurt. Something exciting happened today. We got a couple lobsters from a truck that was on the side of the road. So for Nova Scotians, this is a pretty common way to buy lobster. You just watch for truck, sign pops up on the side of the road. They park in some parking lot, says how much it is per pound. You just hop out, it's usually cash, and there's your lobster. For people not from this area, that might seem kind of crazy. So really, you never usually know in advance, except this time. Last night, I saw a post on social media that said we are going to be at a specific location from 10 until 2. We are going to have lobsters at $10 a pound. So I'm not sure what you pay for lobsters in your area, but $10 a pound is a very good price here right now. So $10 a pound is really good. And we decided that we were going to get some lobster. So you are looking at $30. Each of these lobsters is £1.5 pounds. You are looking at $30 of lobster right here. So add that into this week's grocery budget. And we kind of were thinking, well, tomorrow's a special day. It's Mother's Day, but we are going to have them tonight. Because sometimes you just want to cook them right away when you get them. And that's kind of the place that we're at right now. We want to cook them up. The lobsters are cooked. They are cooling. I am going to make some garlic butter with parsley, melted, of course, to use for dipping the lobster in. We will pop this in the microwave and even 30 seconds is probably a little bit too long to get it melted, and then we'll stir everything together. Our lobster is ready. Our garlic butter is ready, and you need a good pair of kitchen shears when you're eating lobster. I find that's the handiest tool to have for lobster cracking, for shell cracking. You can see I've got my lobster flipped over. I've given a little tutorial before in the past about how I find the easiest way, but not for a long time. So once you flip the lobster over, when you look on the tail, there's a little hole down here, and I just slide the scissors in there and slit right up the middle of the lobster. So you can see that that is done. And now I'm going to grasp the tail here, and I'm just going to pull the tail right away from the body. Here, I need 2 hands. So you can see I've got that away from there, like this. So you can see I've pulled the tail wholly right out of the shell. I'm going to open this up right down the middle, you see here, and then pull out the dark stuff. So I've got the tail open, and I'm just going to pull out that little strip and discard it. Now I've pulled off each claw, and I'll break them open and get the meat out of that. This is what I was able to get from the claws and the tail. I will pull what I can out of the body, but I'm not going to show that. Eating time, yay! I really need to start purging some of the frozen fruit out of the freezers, both the fridge freezer and the upright freezer. This is a combination of strawberry and rhubarb. So strawberries I picked myself, rhubarb from my own garden, my old garden. I'm going to make a crisp. The recipe is for a 9 by 13 pan, but this is just enough here, just this medium freezer bag for a small, what is in here? Oh, little drop of strawberries. I was going to start this, and then I forgot I needed to take the video. So this is just enough for a loaf pan. Okay, so we're just going to, I'm just minimizing the amount of bowls I need. I need a 1/2 cup of sugar added into this and 1.5 tablespoons of flour, and then I'll make the crumble that goes on top. And I'm just mixing the fruit layer in the baking pan. Again, 1/2 cup of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of flour. We will give this a little mix. Mix everything together. All right, this looks really good. And now for the crumble. Now for the crumble part. Now for the crumble, I need 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of rolled oats, and a 1/2 cup of butter. I will mix that all together. So I'll combine it, mix it until it's crumbly, and then I'll sprinkle it on top. I already have the oven preheated to 375. I've got all the dry ingredients in here now, the brown sugar, the oats, the flour. So we'll give this a good mixing before I add the butter. I love these little measuring cups for soft solids, like things like butter or sticky things like molasses, mayo. I can put these in, and then I just push up the bottom to pop it out. So I've got it set here for 1/2 of a cup. I'll fill this with butter, and then I'll just push it, and it'll fall into my mixing bowl. So here is my butter, and I'm just going to push one-handed. Push So normally I would just scrape this off with a knife, which I'm probably going to have to put the phone down. Nope, there it is. So that's what I like to do with anything sticky or anything that's kind of like liquid. If I'm making a recipe that calls for ketchup, like it's hard to scrape out of the corners of a measuring cup, but it's super easy to scrape off of the flat part of a tool like this. Okay, this looks pretty crumbly. I don't have a pastry cutter, so I just tried to crumble it as best I could with the edge of the spoon. So we'll top the mixture, the fruit mixture with this and get it in the oven. So this is what we got. Going in the oven. This looks great. I'm very excited. It smells really, really good. Yum. We are having a really simple lunch today. We are going to have a fried egg each on a toasted English muffin with cheese. That's it. You can see on the pan that I've sprayed a little bit of oil. I just have one of these. You fill it with whatever oil you're using. I've got olive oil. Fill it to the, where is the line? Fill it to the line here. Fill it to the line, and then you pump the top. Creates pressure inside, and that creates an aerosol. So it's just plain olive oil. I am actually going to puncture slightly the eggs yolks. They're looking good. I'm going to pop the English muffins down now in the toaster. This looks really, really good. I'm excited. I'm going to put ketchup on mine. I don't know if the handsome one is going to put anything extra on his or not. These look really good. Yum, yum. I have pulled out of the freezer a whole chicken. We are going to have this tonight. I'm going to cook it in the slow cooker. There was some debate in the house of whether we were going to cook it on the rotisserie or cook it in the slow cooker. But the reality is it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still frozen. So there's no way we could get it on the rotisserie anyways. I'm going to get it in the slow cooker now. And I am hoping to get out of this. Chicken dinner tonight for supper. Chicken stew. If the weather continues to be dreary and cool. Chicken soup. So there's 3 different definite meals. The chicken soup, I'm definitely going to be hoping for, 3 to 5 lunches out of that. And the chicken stew will probably be a supper and a lunch, or perhaps even 2 suppers if I think to make something to go with it, like maybe a cornbread or some rolls. So one chicken can really have a really big impact. And when I got this, and this is an older one, the handsome one actually pulled it out of the freezer, and I asked him to look around and get one of the older ones. This is about a year old, been in the freezer about a year. I bought it at the time. It was $5.49 a kg. That is under $1.99 a pound, if memory is correct. And then I got 50% off of that. So it was $9.82 for the chicken. And then half of that brings it down to like $4 and maybe 80 cents, $4.85. Yeah, I think that's very, very reasonable. Honestly, when you are looking to maximize a small budget, you just can't go wrong with a whole chicken. You just can't. Whether you're buying it here, right, in its uncooked state, cooking it and getting the meals out of it, whether you're buying a rotisserie and making meals from it, yes, that costs you more money, but still, it is still a very good value for your money that you can get a bunch of different meals from. I'm going to season it with some poultry seasoning and lots of summer savory. It's looking good. I've got it on high. We'll cover this up. Oh, and I did throw in a little bit of thyme. The chicken is looking really good. It's been in here for 4 hours now. We are going to make potatoes, mashed potatoes, and carrots to go with it. And I'm going to scrounge around and see what else I have. Carrots and mashed potatoes. Carrots are boiling. I'm mashing the potatoes. And we decided to throw some stovetop stuffing in the microwave. And I'm also going to make peas, but they're frozen, so they'll cook in like a minute. This looks pretty fabulous. Chicken dinner. So it is chicken, mashed potatoes, stovetop stuffing, carrots, peas, and homemade cranberry sauce that I made for Easter, and there was still some cranberry sauce left over. Yeah, extremely excited. Oh, and I made homemade gravy. Yum, yum, yum. Very excited. Oh, and in the mashed potatoes, I put some garlic. Yeah, it's going to be delicious. Strawberry rhubarb crisp for dessert. Fruit for lunch today. An apple and an orange. The handsome one is eating the massive apple. I am eating the regular sized apple. I changed my mind. I put the orange back and I'm having 2 mandarins instead. Supper tonight is leftover chicken dinner. We have chicken, potatoes, carrots, peas, stuffing, cranberry sauce for both plates, and some homemade beet pickles for the handsome one. And yes, I made the homemade beet pickles. Last little bit of strawberry rhubarb crumble for dessert. I'm making a bit of a mess here. I am attempting to make some chicken soup. So I'm separating. This is just the drippings that's left. That's going to go in and be the basis for my broth. I'm going to heat this so that I can pull any of the liquid out of it, but also separate the meat from the bones. Because I have a good broth base right now, I'm not going to use the bones for this. I'm going to set them aside in a freezer bag, and I'll be able to use that at a future, for future broth. Yeah, let's get started. All right, we have the broth. I added water. There's carrots and onions in here. I'm bringing this to a boil. I separated. This is the bones, the skin, everything that is going to go in the scrap bag for future use. And then this is what I got left of the chicken. Like, this is quite a lot, as you can see. I also already put a chicken breast, like a full chicken breast from the chicken, in a container for the stew that I want to make. So this part here, I am going to use this in the soup and then maybe split it into 3/4 of this in the soup I have now, and then the rest and some of this stuff, and bag it separately inside the bag that I use for the bones, so that I'll have chicken as well for future soup, and separate it that way. Just kind of preparing. It's good to be prepared. I decided to go with a chicken noodle soup. So I've thrown some pasta in there. Smells really good already. Chicken noodle soup for lunch today. As you can see, there are 3 bowls. The handsome one and his dad are outside doing some work, so we have company today. We are having burgers again tonight for supper. These are the Gouda ones again. We had them earlier this week for the first time, and they were delicious. So really excited to have these tonight. Yummy. And it's a nice night on the lake tonight. Nice day out today. Supper tonight is burger and spinach salad. On the salad, there is mushrooms, tomatoes, mandarin oranges, English cucumbers, and cheese. Looks really yummy. And on the burgers, we both had onions, spicy mustard, relish, and pickles that I just cut up a dill pickle, and I had ketchup on mine, because you gotta have ketchup. We are going to do the unboxing of the first little cake, so we're going to check this out. Okay, so let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, that's neat. Kind of like a cupcake, huh? What are those, chocolate pieces? Here,
raisins.
Don't. Just hold on. He's going for a middle cut. I'm an edge cutter myself. Do you think I'm going to like this?
No.
I do not like raisins in baked goods. So we'll see. How are you going to cut it? So you're going to like flip it over and do them in little fingers, or? So these were 5 little cakes for 99 cents. So 20 cents. So you want to sample? I'm going to sample. I'm going to try a little piece of this that doesn't have a raisin. Yeah, I just bit into a big raisin. I don't like raisins in baked goods. I like raisins. I don't like raisins in baked goods. What do you think? It's not dry, which is surprising to me. It's a nice moist cake. This would be actually interesting as toast, raisin bread, toasted, or raisin French toast. Fingers now, since we cut up in little fingers. Yummy chicken noodle soup for lunch today. Looking forward to this. Work is done, but it's not supper time yet, and I'm feeling a little peckish. So I am going to have a granola bar out here and enjoy the view. It's a nice day out, sunny and warm. We are having breakfast for supper, but it's going to be a little bit unique tonight. We got these pork and bacon bombs, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago maybe, or more. Might have been a little longer. And we just thought they were kind of bland as burgers. They said they had cheese in them, wrapped with bacon, so they sounded super delicious, but it was just like a little teeny spot of cheese. So we decided we are going to make them better. How can you make them better, you might wonder? Well, we're barbecuing them. We're topping them with cheese. We're going to toast English muffins. We're going to cook eggs. So it's kind of going to be like a sausage and egg McMuffin, only these are way bigger than what like a little breakfast sausage round would be. Plus they're also going to have bacon. And we are going to serve this with some hash browns. Thought it would be really good. Got the eggs cooking now. The sausage, or I guess pork and bacon burgers have come in. I just popped down the English muffins in the toaster, and the hash browns are in the oven. These are looking really, really good. These are just mini hash browns. These look pretty delicious. I'm excited to try those pork bombs like this instead of just plain. Yes, I know this is an empty plate. I just want to say that was a much, much better way. We both really enjoyed those. They were delicious. Moving forward, we won't have them as burgers. We'll use them that way on English muffins or bagels with eggs and have them as breakfast sandwiches. It was super delicious. This is what the big 99-cent cake looked like. The inside. This appears to be that big chunk out of it, the handsome one ate. This appears to be, I don't know if it's seeds or nuts on the top. We're going to cut a piece and I'm going to try it. This cake is super delicious. I don't even know what that is, but it looks like caramel. Those things on top, those are pistachios. It's really, really, really good, moist for 99 cents. I feel for next week's groceries, I should pick up another couple of these and just kind of tuck them away. Yeah, really good. Lunch today is chicken noodle soup. Here is a little update of my plant clippings. So there's more than there were last week because I gave a couple of my plants a little bit of a trim. There are definitely I thought there might have been a wisp of something, but definitely nothing yet. I've got 2 little jars or glasses, and I'm hoping to get some roots. So for the ones of my own that I gave a haircut to, once I root the clippings, I'm going to feed them back into the parent plant to make them a little bit more full. For the clippings, of course, that were new to me, I'm hoping to have some new plants. I am making pizza dough in the bread maker. We have leftover chicken from the whole chicken that I cooked. I had initially thought that I was going to make stew, a chicken stew, but at least with some of the chicken, I'm going to make barbecue chicken pizza. This is the smallest pizza dough I think I've ever made. So there's my hand. There's the dough. Normally they come out there like twice this size. I don't know what is happening. I was thinking I was going to make pizza and a small garlic fingers, but I might be lucky just to get a pizza out of this. Okay, all right. Better than what I thought. I got the full pizza, oven's preheated, and I got quite a bit for garlic bread or garlic fingers. I'm happy with that. Let's get everything started. Since this is a barbecue chicken pizza, I'm starting with barbecue sauce. The bullseye I got last fall when Kraft had their promotion on. It was for quite some time that promotion ran, and you could get $10 off if you bought a certain quantity of Kraft products, and Bullseye happened to be one of them at the time. And I'm pretty sure that I ended up getting the Bullseye for around 50 cents a piece. So that was pretty awesome. Okay, I've got the chicken on, and I'm going to use this Southwestern seasoning from Pampered Chef. This is probably about 10 years old. I don't know if you guys remember when Pampered Chef cooking parties were a big thing, and they were making the taco rings. And anyways, I learned to make barbecue chicken pizza at one of those parties probably 20 years ago. And I'm still making it, and I still like it. So lots of seasoning. This worked out incredibly well for the ingredients that I have on hand. When you are shopping from yourself or when you are being frugal with your grocery money, the smartest thing to do is to make meals with things you already own. So I have leftover chicken. I had a red pepper that was getting to its best before date. It really needed to be cooked, and that's not the red peppers that came out of my flash food box. So I had one that was older. I have bacon bits. I have mushrooms. I had red onions. Everything that I needed for this recipe, I have on hand. So it's perfect using up ingredients that I already have to make something that I really like. Now, the only thing that I need to add on top of this, I don't know if I mentioned, there's bacon bits on here, because the ingredients for the recipe that I follow are barbecue sauce, chicken, bacon bits, red peppers, red onions, and mushrooms. I'm going to top it with cheese. I am going to make my own garlic butter for on here. It'll just be butter with garlic and some parsley in it, and then I will top this with cheese. I don't have any mozzarella cheese. All I have is marble, so it is going to have marble. I don't know why I was concerned. These are going to be perfect. Let's get these in the oven. I'm definitely going to need to put cheese on the grocery list. Cheese and potatoes for next week. Well, this little sneak peek is looking very delicious. Yum, yum. These look awesome. We're going to let them cool just a bit before we plate them. So for anyone who guessed seafood or lobster, you were right. That was, we didn't plan to do that for Mother's Day. It happened to be Mother's Day the next day, which made it seem more justified. But really, $30 for lobster when I have tons of food in the house. I'm not really overspending on groceries. I feel totally fine with that. And I saw another post. So after that day was over, I saw another post that said how successful the day was for the vendor who came with their truck and sold the lobster. And they wanted to know if people would be interested if they did this something like bi-weekly, weekly or bi-weekly. And I'll tell you, I would definitely be interested. So I'll be very thoughtful with the groceries that I purchase this week and perhaps next week to make sure that if they happen to come, that I have the room in my budget to pop down and get some more lobster. Let me know what you think, everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic Victoria Day weekend. Pizza and garlic fingers for supper. Exciting.